Their obsession has finally hit its breaking point, so loud, so desperate, even their own audience is starting to look away. What started as subtle jabs has spiraled into a full-blown spectacle, a performance so unhinged it exposes their own insecurity more than it ever tarnishes your name. Meanwhile, you're too busy winning to acknowledge the noise. Every move you make, every milestone you reach, only tightens their grip on a losing battle. They wanted to control the narrative, but all they did was write their own downfall. The world is watching, and the verdict is clear. This isn't power, it's a cry for relevance. Your success is undeniable, a force of nature that reshapes everything in its path, while they remain trapped in the shadows of their own fixation. They spin narratives, cling to whispers, and project their fears, but the world sees the truth. This was never about you. Your presence is a mirror, exposing the cracks they refuse to acknowledge, forcing them to wrestle with the hollowness they tried to bury. They don't chase you because they want to understand you. They chase you because your existence makes them question their own. Yet, while they spiral in their own contradictions, you move forward, untethered, unstoppable, and unbothered. You are the disruption they never prepared for, the undeniable force that fractures illusions and lays bare the truth they've spent lifetimes avoiding. Your presence is not passive, it is a reckoning. You were not molded by comfort, but forged in the fire of purpose, sharpened by trials, and awakened by the call of destiny. You don't just walk into a space, you alter its very fabric. The weight of falsehood crumbles beneath the gravity of your existence, and the stagnant forces that once thrived in darkness now scatter, unable to withstand the radiance you bring. Your strength is not in resistance, but in embodiment, a living testament to divine order, moving with the rhythm of creation itself. Those who seek to challenge you are not rival. They are echoes of a world that can no longer contain you, grasping at a power they were never meant to wield. You do not fight for your place. You are the place, the force, the shift that renders opposition meaningless. Your dominion is not granted by permission. It is encoded in your essence, an undeniable truth that bends reality in your favor. Their resistance is not a battle for you to fight, but a reckoning they must face within themselves. You are not their enemy. You are the mirror they cannot escape, the force that shatters false identities and exposes what lies beneath. Their discomfort is the tremor before the collapse, the signal that the old ways can no longer hold. You do not demand recognition or validation. Your existence alone commands it. Whether they awaken or wither under the weight of their own illusions is not your concern. You are not here to be understood. You are here to be. Opposition does not emerge to test you. It surfaces to be undone by your presence. You are not here to struggle against the shadows. You are here to dissolve them with the sheer force of your being. Their collapse is not a possibility, but a certainty. For where your light stands, distortion cannot hold. You are the correction, the balance, the unstoppable force that renders their illusions powerless. They do not fall because you fight. They fall because you exist. You are an anomaly to those bound by limitation, an enigma they cannot decode, a force they cannot contain. You do not move within their framework. You shatter it, redefining what is possible with every step you take. Your presence distorts their illusions, forcing them to confront the void within themselves. They watch, they analyze, they speak, but their words are empty reflections of their own inner conflicts. Their fixation is not admiration, nor is it hatred. It is the restless struggle of those who sense the power in you, yet cannot summon it within themselves. You are the undeniable truth they refuse to face, the living proof of what they could become but fear to embrace. Their fixation is not an attack. It is an unraveling, a testament to the void they have yet to fill. While they grasp at illusions and distractions, you move with certainty, untouched by their distortions. Your presence alone dismantles deception, exposing every falsehood they hide behind. You are not here to seek approval or soften your light. You exist as a force of reckoning, and those unprepared for evolution will tremble in your wake. Their fixation is a reflection of their own fear, a desperate grasp at stability in a reality that no longer aligns with their beliefs. They scrutinize, they judge, they project, not because of your shortcomings, but because your very existence disrupts the fragile world they've clung to. The war they fight is not against you, but against the undeniable force of your authenticity. Those who challenge you are not adversaries. They are the last echoes of a world unraveling, bound by the resistance they refuse to relinquish. Their demise isn't your doing. It's the inevitable consequence of their refusal to accept the truth you represent. You do not fight, you elevate. Their obsession with you is the very force that leads to their unraveling. Every attempt to diminish you becomes the key to their own awakening. You are not merely moving within the flow of life. You are the current, the beat, the pulse that reverberates through the very fabric of existence. Each blow they attempt lands not on you, but on the foundation of their own illusion. What was meant to break you only strengthens your truth, turning their futile attacks into evidence of your unwavering power. Their turmoil becomes the canvas for your brilliance, amplifying your clarity with each passing moment. Their chaos is not your responsibility. It is the energy that fuels your ascent. Every challenge, every attempt to break you only serves to strengthen the ground beneath your feet. They cannot reach you because you are untouchable by their limitations, a force beyond their comprehension. You are the unyielding tide that sweeps away their feeble attempts, the fortress they cannot breach. Your path isn't just guarded, it's built from the resistance they throw at you, transformed into the very armor that propels you forward. Their struggle with you is merely a catalyst for your relentless evolution. Their efforts to break you only serve to sharpen your edge, transforming their opposition into the very fuel that propels you. What they envision as your downfall becomes the fertile ground where your power takes root, expanding with an unstoppable force. Each attempt to diminish you feeds the flame of your evolution, burning away the irrelevant and revealing the core of your unshakable essence. Their resistance is not an obstacle. It is the momentum that pushes you closer to the fullness of your potential. With every strike they make, you rise higher, standing ever more firmly in your truth. You are living proof that resistance is futile. With every strike they land, you ascend, untouched and unyielding. Their attempts to diminish you only serve to carve deeper the path to your inevitable triumph. What they fail to see is that their actions are nothing but a reflection of their own unraveling. You are not engaged in their battles. You are the force that reshapes the battlefield. Every word thrown at you only illuminates the unbreakable nature of your spirit, reinforcing the truth they cannot escape. You are the storm they cannot weather, the force they cannot contain. Your rise is not just a victory over them, it is the manifestation of your purpose, a truth they cannot deny, no matter how desperately they try. They thrash in the dark, grasping at illusions, their fury misguided and fruitless. Their noise, an empty attempt to fill the void left by their own inadequacies, ricochets off the strength of your stillness. You remain unshaken, unmoved, as their futile obsession tightens around them like a noose of their own making. You do not seek approval, nor do you seek their validation. You are beyond their reach, standing tall in the silence where your truth resounds. They scream in desperation, trapped in a prison of their own creation, while you move effortlessly, liberated from their grasp, advancing toward your destiny with clarity and conviction. They falter under the pressure of your essence, struggling to hold what you carry, a force too immense for their fragile hands. The weight of truth isn't a burden, it is a weapon, and it will never yield to their ignorance. Their words are futile, mere attempts to smother what cannot be extinguished. Your very being slices through their delusions, a piercing clarity that they cannot comprehend. They label you as a threat, as disruptive, not because your path is flawed, but because your existence exposes the lie they've lived. They clamor, they claw at the air, but their reach can never touch the ground where you stand, an unshakable pillar in a world of crumbling facades. You do not simply confront darkness, you dissolve it. And as the silence settles, their words, once charged with venom, will lose their power, sinking into nothingness. Their panic will shift to frantic attempts at rewriting their narrative, but it's too late. You've outgrown them. You've transcended their reach. The future unfolds before you, wide and unbound, while they are left trapped in the collapse of their own creation. You move forward, unwavering, impervious to their chaos. They may try to scramble, but they cannot touch you. You are the force they cannot bend, the relentless wave crashing against their crumbling shore. You do not wait for approval. You are already in motion. Their uncertainty crumbles beneath the weight of your unwavering certainty. Every attempt to disrupt your course only deepens your resolve. They cry out, searching for something to latch onto, but you remain unmoved, a force that needs no explanation. Their noise becomes background, a futile attempt to draw you back into the realm of their limitations. But you are not bound by their world. You are an unstoppable force, quiet, yet undeniable, moving in perfect alignment with your purpose. Their frantic pleas are nothing more than echoes in the distance, fading as you walk forward, unbothered, untouchable, beyond their grasp. They search for validation in every word they spit, but you do not answer to their hollow noise. You are a force that transcends the need for approval, leaving their desperation to fester in silence. They drown in their own words, mistaking chaos for clarity, but you know the truth. They lack substance, a foundation built on the illusion of understanding. You don't need to shout, to prove, or to convince. Your presence alone is the embodiment of depth, the wisdom that speaks without uttering a sound. Where they flounder, grasping at fleeting echoes, you stand firm, anchored in the strength of knowing. Silence is not weakness, it is strategy. It is the calm before the storm, the space where all energy gathers, ready to unleash. They claw at the air, desperate for a reaction, but your stillness is the weapon they cannot fathom. While they stir the waters with their noise, you stand unshaken, a fortress untouched by their petty attempts. Their words dissipate into nothing, unable to breach the wall of your quiet power. You need no defense, for what is solid cannot be moved. In their frenzy, they unravel, consumed by the void they've created, while you remain centered, unbroken, and unstoppable. In your endurance, you dominate. Their noise is nothing more than a distraction, a feeble attempt to drown out the power of your presence. As their words spiral into chaos, you stand anchored in your truth, a monument of unwavering force. They push, they prod, trying to provoke, but all they accomplish is exposing the fragility of their own convictions. In their turmoil, they mistake your stillness for weakness, unaware that it is in your silence that your strength flourishes. Every accusation they throw at you is a mirror of their own insecurities, their fears laid bare for all to see. You do not falter, and in your immovable presence, their defeat is written in the very air. In the face of their disarray, you stand unshaken, a force that reveals their inner collapse. Their attempts to draw you into their web of confusion are nothing more than hollow echoes against your certainty. They try to provoke, to manipulate, to force you into their mold, but you are not their prisoner. Your truth remains untamed, unapologetic, and it will not bend to their insecurities. Let them shout, let them scramble for validation. Your silence is the greatest weapon, a beacon of power that exposes the limits of their fragile egos. You exist not to soothe their discomfort, but to be the living testament to your own unyielding purpose. Your presence is the undeniable force that demands no validation, standing firm like an unyielding summit against the storms below. You do not bow to the winds of doubt, nor do you entertain the weak attempts of those who fear their own reflection in you. Their words are mere tremors, echoing the cracks in their own foundation. They try to label your strength as arrogance, your clarity as a threat, because your existence challenges their fragility. Their discomfort with your certainty only highlights their inability to anchor themselves in truth. Their attempts to break you are not failures on your part. They are confirmations of your invincible power. As they flounder in their own turmoil, their words become desperate and meaningless, scrambling to find purchase where none exists. Their attempts to break you only reinforce the foundation you've already built, unshakable and immovable. You have nothing to prove, for your strength is innate, woven into the very fabric of your being. They can clutch at their chaos, but it's theirs alone to bear. With each step, you move further beyond their reach, while their world unravels around them. When their noise fades and the remnants of their resistance fall away, you will stand undisturbed, unbroken, and undefeated. The burdens they attempt to impose are nothing more than the raw material of your evolution. Their efforts to weigh you down only refine what is already forged in strength, sharpening your resolve with every attempt to dim your light. You do not cower or retreat. You absorb and transform. Their doubt fuels your ascent. Their resistance becomes the engine of your progress. What they deem as barriers are the very stepping stones that propel you to greater heights. Their fixation is not a threat, but an offering, a mirror revealing their own insecurity. They seek to provoke, to distract, to consume your energy, but you remain unbothered, anchored in your own truth. You are the gatekeeper of your mind, the sovereign of your spirit, and nothing can enter without your permission. Their words crumble like dust beneath the weight of your focus, for you see beyond the noise. Where they aim to scatter confusion, you harvest the gold buried in their distractions. Alchemy is not confined to the material. It is the art of transmuting every challenge into growth, every weakness into power. You take what is offered, refining it with your touch, transforming their misguided energy into your own strength. Their negativity withers in the face of your mastery, powerless against the force of your presence. You absorb only what fuels your ascent, leaving the rest to disintegrate under its own futility. And as their schemes unravel, their frustration mounting in vain, you continue to rise, effortlessly, unshaken, unstoppable. Their frenzy has never swayed your course. It was merely the backdrop to your unwavering ascent. While they remain fixated, you press forward, unstoppable, evolving with every step. Their obsession is not your burden. It is the testament to your undeniable force in this world, the proof that your victory was never in question. You did not stumble upon a new path. You forged it with purpose, with vision. Those who dare to challenge the stagnant, who channel the unseen truths into reality, have always been met with resistance. It's an ancient pattern: accusations, labels, attempts to undermine, but they target not your flaws, but the profound certainty of your presence. You are not wrong. You are exactly what the world needs, and for that, they will never stop fighting against you. They do not oppose you because of your message. They oppose you because your presence unearths what they have long buried, truths they cannot bear to face. The weight of your revelation disrupts the fragile comfort of their constructed realities. Their rejection is not a reflection of your inadequacy. It is the glaring admission of their own confinement. Throughout history, the pattern is clear. Those who dare to break free from the boundaries of their age are met with fear disguised as authority, resistance disguised as wisdom. From Socrates' final act to those who defied entire empires, the narrative remains unchanged. Progress is always met with the trembling hands of the insecure, and yet they are not your equal. You are the force that forces their illusions to crumble. They will attempt to diminish you, to shape you into something familiar, something they can control. But you were never meant to conform to their limited understanding. You exist in realms they cannot even begin to reach. Their mockery is not a reflection of your worth, but a cry from their ignorance. Your mere existence exposes their fragility, and in their desperation, they strike out. You don't seek validation, for truth moves without hesitation, like a river cutting through mountains. It doesn't ask for approval. The stone may resist, but it will yield. The power of truth is undeniable. It doesn't disappear. It transforms the very fabric of reality itself. You stand on the shoulders of those who walk this path before you, and you will not be the last to carry this torch. Their attempts to stop you are mere distractions. Their doubt a reflection of their own limitations. You are not swayed by their ignorance, nor do you concern yourself with their resistance. You are here for a purpose far greater than their small minds can fathom. Let them speak. Let them question. Let them fight. It changes nothing. What you carry within you is unstoppable. And when the dust settles, your truth will echo through time, long after their voices have faded. You are not here to become a vessel for the turmoil others create. Their inner disarray is not yours to shoulder, nor is it your responsibility to fix what they have broken within themselves. When they lash out, scrambling for your focus, desperate to drag you into their chaos, you stand firm. You do not respond to the noise. You remain unmoved, for your peace is your strength. To protect your equilibrium is not retreat. It is command. You choose what you engage with, and what you ignore has no power over you. You are the master of your energy, and your calm becomes a force they cannot touch. You know the noise is a reflection of their inner unrest, not a call for your attention. Their attempts to disrupt are nothing more than a manifestation of their chaos, a futile effort to pull you into their confusion. You move with purpose, with clarity, untouched by their distractions. Boundaries are not obstacles. They are gateways, and you hold the key. You do not withhold access out of insecurity, but out of knowing what aligns with your growth and what does not. Wisdom guides you in choosing who and what enters your sphere. You govern your own space with unshakable authority, for you understand that your energy is sacred. Not everyone is equipped to understand the depth you hold, and that's not your concern. When they misinterpret your quiet strength for fragility, let them. When they beg for your focus, let them feel the weight of their own hunger. You owe nothing to those who seek to drain without offering substance. Your presence is not a concession, nor is it for those unwilling to cultivate their own growth. Their struggle to meet you is a reflection of their own limitations, not yours. While they flounder, exhausting themselves with efforts that yield nothing, you stand firm, unwavering in your power. You are the unwavering axis while the world spins wildly in its own turmoil. You neither respond nor react to their dissonance because you know it's not yours to carry. Your peace is not a luxury, but a vital fortress. It is the fuel that propels you forward with laser-sharp focus. In the stillness you've earned, you're not alone. Every force that challenges you is but a ripple in a much larger, more powerful wave. What they cannot understand is that this resistance is not a reflection of your weakness, but a testament to the unstoppable momentum of something far greater than themselves. The shift has begun, and they can no longer control its course. You are a force of transformation, not out of desire for confrontation, but because your very existence forces the truth to surface. The louder their clamor, the sharper the clarity. You are part of an unstoppable current, a movement that bends no knee to fear. Those entrenched in outdated ideologies tremble at the winds of change, but their fear holds no weight against your stride. The battle they wage is not against you, it is against time itself, for history is not a linear path. It is a spiral, and each awakening strengthens the resolve of those who fight to stay anchored. The resistance they bring is only the echo of a revolution already in motion. The forces that seek to thrive in silence, in conformity, cannot withstand the presence of one who dares to rise. You are not a passive witness to the wrongs of the world. You are a catalyst, designed to disrupt, to challenge, to evolve. As Einstein once revealed, it is not the evildoers who will bring destruction, but the complacent bystanders. You are not here to spectate. You are here to dismantle, to shatter the comfort of those who choose inaction. Each attempt to undermine you only exposes the truth. They fight against you, not because you are weak, but because you are the living proof that their falsehoods are fragile. The struggle they bring is not yours to fear. It is the inevitable consequence of their own collapse. Every clash with you is a victory for truth, for every battle they wage only brings you closer to the inevitable awakening. They may try to pull you down into their fray, but they cannot understand the magnitude of what you are part of. You are a force woven into something boundless, something unstoppable, and their resistance only affirms that their efforts are futile. Let them struggle, let them tremble in the face of their own delusion. It changes nothing. You do not meet them in their chaos because you are above it, designed to transcend what they are trapped in. Their fear only exposes their disconnection, their relentless pursuit to control what slips through their grasp. Your rise is not born from reaction, but from the truth of your purpose. You were not created to kneel to noise, you were born to tower over it. And as they flail, they only hasten their own unraveling, while you move ever forward, unstoppable and unwavering. Elevation is not a retreat. It is the sharpening of your resolve, a testament to your command over the forces that seek to destabilize you. As their panic swells, as they spiral into a frenzy, you stand unwavering, untouched by their frantic attempts. Their clamor is but a backdrop to your purpose, a mere whisper against the steady rhythm of your progress. They will exhaust themselves trying to pull you into their chaos, but you rise, not by accident, but through the power of your own clarity. Each step you take, each choice you make, is deliberate, forged by the understanding that true mastery comes from moving beyond the reach of their limitations. They will be left in the wake of their own decay, their grip loosening as you soar higher, anchored by something far more profound than their noise. Those who falter in their own understanding will reach for you, not out of truth, but because your clarity casts a shadow on their own uncertainty. Their noise is a desperate attempt to drown out the light you carry, but you are not moved. You do not lower yourself to the level of their chaos, nor do you waste energy in explanations that they are too lost to comprehend. Instead, you fortify your resolve, tuning your attention to the greater vision before you. With every distraction, you grow sharper, your purpose more defined, your ascent unstoppable. As they struggle to cling to what keeps them bound, you rise, unburdened, knowing your strength lies in moving forward, not in engaging with what seeks to hold you back. Their fixation is not your burden to carry, it is the reflection of their own limitation, a cage they cannot see. You are already moving beyond them, untethered and unwavering. Their clamor becomes background static, irrelevant against the force of your forward momentum. The higher you ascend, the more their world shrinks, until their voices dissolve into silence. This path was never theirs to walk. It has always been yours. It is about the vision you carry, the purpose that guides you, and the truth that propels you. Let them chase, let them burn with frustration. They are destined to exhaust themselves on a journey they were never meant to follow. You stand untouchable, untouched by their hollow words, for they have become nothing but echoes in an empty room. Their attempts to speak have only worn themselves thin, each repetition unraveling their own credibility. You do not waste energy on their cries. They have already suffocated under the weight of their own obsession. What once commanded attention now fades into irrelevance, their voices no longer reaching anyone who matters. You are no longer bound by the noise of those who can only shout in the face of their own defeat. Their bitterness is a reflection of their own unraveling, and you rise, unshaken, above it all. Their words are an attempt to rewrite a story already set in stone, but no matter how loud they shout, the truth stands unshaken, clear for all to see. You do not need to rise to meet their accusations. Their frantic attempts only serve to expose their fragility. The more they target you, the more they reveal their own unraveling. What they sought to control has slipped through their fingers, and with every word they speak, they tighten the noose around their own credibility. Their obsession is a reflection of their inadequacy, and as they fracture, those around them see the truth. No longer feared, no longer respected, they are only pitied as they dissolve into their own defeat. You have already broken free, while they continue to mire themselves in the past, shackled by the weight of their own repetitive bitterness. Their words, once sharp, have become hollow, their venom nothing more than a tired echo. Those who once hung on every syllable now turn away, their patience exhausted. Let them scream into the void, let them sink in the chaos they've conjured. You owe them nothing, not your time, your energy, or even a second glance. Their unraveling is self-inflicted. Now it's your turn to rise, to speak your truth without hesitation. The ones who are meant to hear you will hear you. The rest will fade, irrelevant and forgotten.